Welcome back. This is week 15 of the $2 Beginner Poker Challenge. I'm turning $2 into $2,000, playing poker without making an initial deposit. This is an overall graph up to the end of week 14. As you can see around here, the profit levels out a bit, goes up, and then drops off quite drastically near the end there. I took a break from poker this previous week and didn't make a video, but I'm back. I only played NL2 Zoom this week just to get back in the flow and build confidence after a bad spell. And actually, according to my database, I played about 300 hands of other games, but I didn't remember that except for accidentally joining a 6max 5NL Zoom game. So let's see if we can fix this downswing this week. Last week we were down $28.39. The bankroll total was $256, which was 12.8% of our way to the $2,000 goal. The win rate was negative 1.4 big blind per 100 hands. Here we get 2 limps and we will just complete in the small blind. I don't want to raise and play queen 10 out of position, especially if it's going to be multi-way. And we can't be too confident we're going to get a lot of folds here. These guys look pretty loose. He's playing 35% of hands. This guy's also loose. So we'll just pay 1 cent and see the flop. And we nail it, we hit top 2. We'll bet pot. We probably have the best hand here, and I'm fine building a pot when we have the best hand. The board's also pretty wet. There's a lot of straight draws out there. We're behind pocket 5s, pocket 10s, pocket queens. Pocket 10s and queens should have raised pre-flop unless it was this guy. He might just limp his entire range. And pocket 5s is possible. We get called by the 2 limpers. The turn completes a jack-9 straight. Not too worried about that, although it is in both of the ranges. We'll bet out pretty big. Still think we're ahead, and we'll build a pot. We get called 2 ways, so now I'm not terribly confident in my hand. That river doesn't really change much. Yeah, we're out of position, and we'll play pot control here and get in check call mode. Don't want to bet and get raised. And this guy bets half pot. Now he's a pretty passive player. He could have something good here. He probably does have something good. We're getting 3-1 to call this, and I think we're ahead often enough to call here. We have top 2, so we call it, and he turns over jack-9, takes it down with a straight. So we lose that hand, but I think we played it pretty well. And this passive guy probably could have got a bit more money out of me had he bet bigger. Here it folds around to us on the button, and we min steal. Yeah, we're awesome. A lot of guys will be like, no, don't do that, never min steal, it's stupid, it's fishy. But I've checked the database, and so far it's been profitable over a huge sample. I'd pick spots where we have tight guys in the blinds with high fold to steals. I like 80 or higher. And if we don't have enough sample on somebody, then looking at his VPIP kind of helps. If he's got a low, like if he's kind of tight, then he's more likely to fold. This guy's in the small blind, so he's more likely to already click the fold button anyway. So this is not the perfect spot for a min steal, but I think it's still good enough. It's outright profitable in the spots that I choose, that meaning that we get enough folds pre-flop to win money. But also, when we do get called, it's still profitable on the flop. Just take it down with a c-bet. That happens often enough to make it profitable on the flop. And we get called by both the blinds. Not exactly the result we're looking for, but this is the flop that we were looking for. We hit a flush, and this guy donks half pot, and this guy calls. So that's an interesting donk bet. Some things I think it might mean he's got a pair kind of hand, a set, and he's scared of like another club coming, but I think he would have bet a bit bigger if that was it. It could be a made flush, it could be a bigger one, or it could be a smaller one. Likely it's also a semi-bluff. He might have the ace, an offsuited ace of clubs. Anyway, we raise. We don't really want an ace of clubs to see the next card this cheap, and we might get value from a pair type of hand that just can't fold yet. This guy jams, this guy folds. So what is he jamming with? Do you really think he's got the nut flush here? Do you think he has ace king of clubs? He might have 3-bet that pre-flop, but let's say he's got like ace 4 of clubs. Is he really going to jam here? No, he's not going to jam the nut flush unless he just really doesn't know what he's doing. He's not thinking about it. I think the nut flush would slow play this a bit more. He wouldn't want to scare me off. So I don't think this is a nut flush, and I don't think it's a king high flush, probably not a queen high flush. Those hands shouldn't be too worried about another club coming because they could still have the best flush. So maybe this is a weaker flush, or I think it's an offsuit ace of clubs. I don't think he's doing this with a set or a pair kind of hand. So we call, but he turns over the ace king with the king of clubs. So we're kind of right there. He had the king of clubs, and it was a semi bluff. We take down a nice pot. You know, I think this is the only week we don't have a pocket pair hand. We open up ace king in the cutoff, get called by the button, and the flop comes ace king queen. Let's take a minute to check out his range here. He's playing 12% of hands, and his 3-bet is 9. So it's a small sample, only 25 hands. But let's try to think how this flop hit his range. Aces, kings, and queens were behind those 3 hands, but he probably would have raised that pre-flop. So we're behind jack 10. That's the only reasonable hand that we're behind here. Hands that he could have that he can continue with, there's a lot of them. You know, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, king queen, and maybe some other random stuff like some random gut shots like 10-9 or something like that. So we'll start building the pot. Probably actually bet a bit bigger here, maybe 12 cents. He calls, and the reason we should bet bigger is because this hit his range pretty hard. We turn a full house. That's pretty nice. Now the only hand we're behind here is pocket aces, which I don't think he has. Again, we should be betting bigger, and he calls. And the river's a 10, so that makes the board even more wet. There's more value hands that he can call with here. So he could have made it this far and call a river bet here with a lot of hands. Ace queen, ace king, small chance he has pocket queens, king queen, king 10, king jack, ace jack, queen jack for a straight. Those hands might call a big bet here. And we choose to shove. Now you could bet like 60 cents, which is 3/4 pot, and probably get called more often. But is this shove more profitable? It's hard to say, but let's ask math. So we plug in the pot size, 79 cents, plug in our option of betting, which 3/4 pot would be 60 cents. And let's say he calls that 75% of the time. So our EV would be 45 cents. Or if we shove for 205, we need him to call 22% or more of the time for that to be profitable. So the question is he going to call the shove around 22% of the time or more? And in this case, he does call, if the keyboard works. There we go. He calls, and he turns over king queen. Take down a pretty big pot. Here's the results graph for the week, and as you can see, we're doing really well at the start of the week. We made it up to about $50, so it looked like it was going to be a record week. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it kind of slowly just dropped down. I was trying to get back to that $50 mark, and it just kept going down, 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 down. And I think that was a bit of playing tired, playing too much, and playing a bit frustrated again. Still working with the mental game stuff. There are also quite a few suckouts, just insane suckouts. But I've come to realize that insane suckouts are normal, and they happen all the time, and I just need to accept it. Sometimes it seems unreal, but when it happens every week, it's real. I haven't decided yet, but I might stop this video series at some point. It looks like it's just going to take way too long to hit the $2,000 goal, unless I move up faster, which I might do. But I don't feel I'm ready for NL10 yet. Just too many holes in my game, especially my mental game. And I might not have enough time for poker and making videos soon. Either that, or I might just put in a bi-weekly or monthly or sporadic videos. We'll see. This week we're up $36. The bankroll total is $293, which is 14.6 of our way to the $2,000 goal. The win rate was 7.2 big blinds per 100 hands. You can find me on edthealien.com. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter as edthealien. Want to talk about some of the hands you saw in this video? Just put a comment below. Show your love, click like and subscribe. I'm edthealien. Keep eating good, and see you in the next video.